What is up, everybody? Today I'm going to be showing you guys that you don't need an expensive rod. It's right here to catch some fish. Now, I made this rod from a piece of wood that actually fell down off of a tree when we had a little bit of a windstorm. It dried off. Had to make a couple notches in there as well. And for this, I'm actually running out of how well you can see it. I'm running 40-pound monofilament. Now, the reason I chose 40-pound monofilament is because I was worried about the abrasion on this stick. There's a couple notches right there and right there, and I was worried about it wiggling around and just causing some abrasions on the line. I didn't want to replace the line while I'm out in the field because, well, some people may not bring line with them. I generally don't. It's probably a bad idea. But down at the very bottom, we've got a simple old bait hook. Now, this is a pretty classic one. You guys are going to see we're going to be using a lot with crickets or grasshoppers. Potato. We're back at the same exact creek we were at just a couple of weeks ago, and we're gonna be using this cheap old rod that I made from a basic old branch, and we're gonna catch some brook trout with it. So let's go ahead, let's get fishing. All right, so this is as good as it gets, but we're going cheap today. Found a waterlogged pine cone. All right, I don't have a split shot with me today, so this waterlogged pine cone goes straight down to my grasshoppers because this 40-pound mono is keeping it floating on the top. We need it to sink down, so this is gonna be our little split shot. If you get a rock, just a couple half hitches are gonna keep it on pretty well. You can tie a square knot as well and just keep some weight on. If I was to do this again, I'd probably use 10-pound test, something really light. And I don't think I'd be too worried about it fraying the line. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a go, see how it goes. Nope. Stay a fork away.
I can grab it.
Oh, if you find it, please move it way over there. Oh. I'm not finding it. I'm here to fish, not catch snakes. Screw that. Alright, hopefully you guys can see this. We moved, I don't know, maybe 10 feet from where we were. You can see there's a couple trout right there. There's pretty big ones right there and right there. They used to be here, then they took off and a bunch of small ones moved in. There's still a few small ones in there. I don't know, but you can see like right there, there, and there. I think there's one right there as well. We're gonna go ahead and check the grasshopper right in front of them. Last time it didn't work out too well. Let's go see what happens. Alright, so you know, today wasn't too successful. I'm thinking it's probably this line. Again, this 40-pound mono. I think it's a little too thick and it's causing them to be shy. Another issue that I was having with this, and we're going to make some modifications. We'll do this again. This is going to be coming back again. I know I can catch fish on this. Is the weight. I think in combination with just the two grasshoppers on this little hook and the line being 40-pound mono, I was having a hard time keeping it down. So I think the weight of the line on top of the weight of the bait wasn't quite matching up. So I think next time I'm probably gonna give 8-pound line a go, see what we can do with it. Overall, really, if you guys are real broke or just college kids or just barely starting off and you don't want to fork out $150 in rod, you don't need one. Plenty of people have been fishing with just a simple stick and line and having success for a really long time. Although today wasn't quite successful, it seemed like it was a lot slower than usually what it is in this little creek that we come fish probably once a week at least. It was pretty slow. I don't know, maybe it's getting towards the time of year where things are just getting warm, fish are starting to get a little less aggressive. Who knows? But anyways, really easy rig to make yourself. All you need is a knife, a hatchet, if preferably sharp. I'll tell you this, a dull hatchet, very difficult. It was hard to make a dull hatchet cut this piece off of a freaking tree, very difficult. But a dull hatchet you can make work. You just gotta blunt force it. A knife just to whittle out these little grooves. I'll kind of show you guys these little grooves right there, that little groove right there, to whittle that out, and then just whittle this out. Essentially it just locks the line in place. Looking back at this, really I don't think I needed 40-pound line to begin with, because I mean, you guys will see right now, you can kind of see the knot. It's not really going anywhere. I think when we redo this, we're gonna go ahead and use 8-pound monofilament instead. I think that was the biggest issue we're having. Even my wife, she's using 6-pound mono on an actual spinning rod, and she's having trouble keeping her grasshopper down. So you guys saw earlier, I had to use a little pine cone, and the knot still remains. Pine cone wasn't weighing it down. I think it was a little too big as well. Just kind of a test run. When you're fishing this kind of stuff, you don't know what to expect. And you know what? That's okay. That's why it's called fishing. It's not catching, it's fishing, as you guys saw in the GoPro portion of it when we were actually just casting our rod. You saw the little pine cone drop into the water, and now it's acting like my split shot. That was holding it down. The fish were just flat out ignoring it. And well, for this little creek, grasshoppers have always served us really, really well. It could have been numerous things. Fish aren't hungry. Maybe we need to change up the kind of bait we're using, go after earthworms, maybe start finding some, I don't know, something else, some nymphs. Might have to flip over some rocks. We got an upcoming video you don't want to miss out. We're going to be using crawdads, okay? Crawdads to go after some big fish. A really cheap bait you can use. Yeah, you'll find out. Be sure you hit that sub button. I'll be showing you guys how you can catch them super cheap, how you can use them for bait for super cheap as well. When we use crawdads, we are not going to be using this little homemade rod. We're actually going to be using a regular spinning rod. It's going to be a little bit heavier tackle because I'm going to be targeting larger trout. Now, with all that being said, I will say this, as you're fishing in late summer, lots of states are going into hoot owl owls right now. Please be aware of the rivers which are currently under the hoot owl. Depending on your local area here, that's what it is. In the Clark Fork, we have to be done fishing by 2. Stay tuned for the crawdad. That's going to be coming up here real soon. So stay tuned. And until next time, guys, get outdoors and enjoy being outside. This has been Big Sky Outdoors. We'll catch you guys in the next one.